Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's ASK Online Academy on the new low viscosity, 100% active cold box release agent. My name is Joe Maniza, and I will guide you through today's webinar. The speaker today is Stacy Clifford, Technical Product Manager for ASK Chemicals for coatings, release agents, and other specialty auxiliaries. Stacy received her Bachelor of Chemistry degree from the Miami University, and she has over 24 years working with ASK in various roles, including quality control, R&D, and marketing. She is a current member and past chair of the ASS Mold Metal Interface Committee. Before we begin the webinar, just a few organizational notes. For data protection, your name does not appear in the chat rooms, nor does any of your personal information, only your initials. So therefore, if you have any questions, we will only be taking questions online and we will answer them in the order they are received. So please put your questions into the chat room. If we do not have time to answer all of the questions, we will make sure that we get back to you personally so you can get all the information you need about this seminar. Also, your microphones have been muted. So again, please do not attempt to speak during the webinar. So without further ado, I would like to give you Stacy Clifford and her presentation on the new low viscosity 100% active cold box release agent. Thank you.
Good morning to some and good afternoon to others. Thank you, Joe, for the introduction, and thank you to those of you joining us for the new lower viscosity 100% active cold box release agent webinar. Let's go through a quick review of the agenda. I'm going to discuss the evolution of release agents for solvent to water-based. Next, I will dive into the research and development of release agents with low viscosity, and finally, I will summarize it all. Release agents as first developed were based on solvents. As time went on, the need for more environmentally friendly release agents led to water-based ones. Solvent-based release agents contain either flammable, combustible, or VOC-exempt solvents. Flammable release agents may be based on heptane or VMP naphtha. Combustible release agents may be based on odorless mineral spirits. Flammable and combustible release agents contain VOCs. The solvent portion of the release agent is 100% VOC. VOC-exempt release agents are expensive. However, solvent-based release agents do have some advantages, including being easier to apply as more material can be sprayed on. They also build up less since the only residue left behind is the silicone. Over-application of the release agents is minimized as the solvent evaporates off. In the 1800s, chlorinated solvents were first produced in Germany. In the United States, they were widely used after World War II. A massive amount of chlorinated solvents were produced in the U.S. between 1940 and 1980, amounting to 2 billion pounds. Unfortunately, chlorinated solvents contain many disadvantages, including volatile organic compounds, carcinogens, ozone depleting, and toxicity to aquatic organisms. To that end, chlorinated solvents have since been removed from foundry solvent-based release agents. Hence, the introduction of water-based release agents. They don't come without their fair share of disadvantages as well. The water may rust metal tooling. The water also reacts with the isocyanates in the cold box resin part 2s, which will lead to resin wipe-off. We don't recommend water-based release agents for cold box applications, although some customers are using them. Their biggest advantage, however, is that they typically contain lower amounts of VOCs compared to their solvent-based counterparts. The picture on the left shows an area where a release agent was oversprayed. Overapplication is typically the largest issue when it comes to release agents, especially those that are 100% active. Droplets of release lead to stickers. The picture on the right shows an area where there is too much release agent and a refractory coating was applied. The coating isn't sticking to the core or mold surface. The coating is pulling away, which is what we call syneresis. Several manufacturers supply release agent equipment. Release agents are typically sprayed. Depending on the application, wands are available in different lengths, typically from 1 foot to 6 feet. Tips are available in a fan or conical configuration. Which type is used depends on a variety of factors, including whether the material is being manually or automatically sprayed, how deep the pattern is, and how much room there is, i.e., how thin is the section. It's important that the spray is atomized as opposed to droplets, which will create stickers. A good starting point for air pressure is 40 psi and 20 psi for fluid pressure. Normally, the fluid pressure is half the air pressure. 100% active release agents offer multiple advantages. They provide the best mileage. They can be applied less often, going longer in between cycles. They are the most efficient for high production environments, particularly automotive applications. They are compatible with different types of pattern materials, including metal, wood, and plastic patterns. 100% active release agents will not settle out, so they don't require any mixing equipment. They aren't flammable, and they contain no VOCs. Through research and development, low viscosity release agents have been developed. "100% active release agents have existed in the foundry market for decades. Viscosity is checked using a Brookfield viscometer run on spindle 21 at 100 revolutions per minute at room temperature. Originally, as developed, 100% active release agent viscosities started at the higher end of the viscosity spectrum, around 145 centipoise. Over time, viscosities of formulations dropped to 55 centipoise and most recently 30 centipoise. Lower viscosity equates to several advantages. These materials are easier to apply, so they apply better. They atomize. Over-application is minimized as less material is being applied. Therefore, the material builds up less, which leaves less resin wipe-off. "100% active release agents are clear. In order to better visualize the spray characteristics, a dye was added to the release agent. At this concentration, the fluid glows under UV light. Each release agent was added to a spray bottle to test how each applied. It was observed that Zip-Slip 184H sprayed more in a stream or droplets, while Zip-Slip 184H NM2 sprayed as a mist or atomized, giving NM2 an advantage where it is able to overcome substandard spray equipment. Rapid transverse and release equipment, also known as RTR, is used to evaluate release agents. This equipment measures release force. The picture on the left shows the gassy manifold. The picture in the middle shows the sand magazine. And the picture on the right shows the test specimen plate. All three of these pieces comprise the core blower. The ejection force of the new lower viscosity release agent 184H NM2 was compared to its predecessor 184H, as well as to no release using the RTR equipment. The lower the ejection force, the better the release agent performance. The ejection force was measured over 15 cycles. The top line shows no release, where the release agent is high and ranges from 139 to 250 newtons. NM2 release force ranges from 25 to 52, and 184H release from 13 to 56 newtons. NM2 and 184H release force is similar and on the low end, indicating that they may be applied after multiple cycles instead of every cycle. Many variables influence the application rate, including pattern size, shape, and depth of the draws. In real foundry settings, it's been found that lower viscosity release agents have gone 35 cycles before needing to be reapplied. Phenolic urethane cold box resin builds up on tooling. The upper left picture shows buildup when no release agent was applied over 15 cycles. The bottom left picture shows almost no buildup when 184H was applied, and the picture on the right shows the least amount of buildup when 184H NM2 was applied. Resin wipe-off consists of sand, resin, and release agent. After 15 cycles, 41.1 milligrams of buildup accumulated with no release. This is demonstrated with the gray bar on the left. The blue bar in the middle shows 6.9 milligrams of buildup accumulated with 184H, and the orange bar on the right shows 6.6 milligrams with 184H NM2. Lower viscosity equates to minimize over-application, which equates to less resin buildup. "100% active release agents are prone to moisture contamination. This is visible in the release agent if the material appears cloudy, containing gel particles. These particles may clog spray tips. 100% active release agents will also react with copper, brass, and galvanized metal, forming a sludge. The material may appear greenish-blue in color. A reaction will also occur with silicone rubber and rubber, causing the rubber to soften. Newer formulations such as 184H and NM2 are less sensitive than prior versions, but still may be affected. It is recommended that a desiccant be added. Dryerite sells these. And the picture on the right shows a drum with a Dryerite desiccant added to it. Using a lower viscosity 100% active cold box release agent has many advantages, including less scrap, better core and pattern definition, and cleaner boxes. Thank you for your attention and participation in today's webinar. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Stacy. I do have one question that came up. The question is, can I use these release agents in my no-bake operation?
You can. Typically, the go-to release agent for no-bake contains aluminum, which is a leafing compound that acts as a release. Ours is called Zip Slip LP78 1495, if you're familiar with it. It's a heptane-based release agent, and it works really well in no-bake. However, if you have an application where you're having a difficult time releasing the core or the mold, you can use 184H or 184H NM2 or really any of the 100% active release agents, and it works really well if you're having issues, particularly on the vertical walls. But the go-to release agent is the aluminum-based heptane containing one. I would only use the 100% active for situations where you're having a really hard time getting the material to release.
Okay, we have another question that says, what is chemical base?
I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to. The 100% active release agents are based solely on silicones. It's a blend of silicones.
Okay. The person that asked that question, did that answer it? If not, I would give you an opportunity to do a follow-up. We have another question here that says, I'll interrupt for a second. The person said, thanks for the answer. That seemed to answer it. The next question is I've seen release agent dripping from my tooling. What could that mean?
If the release agent is dripping from your tooling, then you are most likely over applying it. Particularly with the 100% active release agents, you only need to do one light pass and have it atomized. The biggest difference between the 100% active and the solvent-based or the water-based release agents is the carrier. In 100% active release agents, it's entirely silicone. And the silicone does not evaporate. When you have solvent, the solvent evaporates. And when you have water, the water evaporates, leaving behind the silicone. So there's less silicone. But in the 100% active release agents, it's entirely silicone, which does not evaporate. So you don't need to apply as much.
Okay.
So more is not better in this case.
Okay. Another question here. Can 100% active release agents be used for green sand?
We don't recommend it. We have other release agents that are formulated for green sand. Some are oil-based and some are water-based.
Okay. Another question. Do these 100% active release agents react with atmospheric moisture? And are they compatible with water-based coatings?
Yes, they do react with atmospheric moisture. That's why you need to use a desiccant. Otherwise, the material will become cloudy and form gel particles that may clog your spray tips. What was the second half of that question?
Are they compatible with water-based coatings?
Oh, yes, they are compatible with water-based coatings and solvent-based coatings. You can use either or. You just need to make sure that you don't apply too much release agent, otherwise the coating won't stick, which causes syneresis. Back to that slide, and I'll show you again. This is where the coating pulls away from the core. It's right here. This picture on the right. That's where coating was applied, but you can see that you don't get consistent coverage. And if you can see the sand grains through the coating, then you've put too much release agent on.
Okay. Another question is, does the 100% active release agents come supplied in aerosol cans?
At this time, it does not. You can buy spray equipment. you can purchase a can. Particularly Harbor Freight has spray equipment that typically would be used for automotive painting that you can use that have smaller tips. We recommend 20 to 30 thou for the 100% active release agent so that you don't over apply it. Typically with a solvent-based or water-based release agent, you might be able to get away with a larger tip size. But with the 100% active release agents, you want to use a smaller tip to help you from over applying it.
Okay. Another question, how aggressive is this material on rubber blow tips from course shooting equipment?
It's not as bad as, say, a metal cleaner. However, it will attack the rubber. The one way that we test for this is to weigh the rubber blow tip on a scale and then soak it in the release agent for 24 hours, take it out and re-weigh it and see if it's picked up weight. If it's picked up weight, then that means that the rubber has swelled and it's attacking the rubber.
Okay. Another question, can these release agents cause some issue with brass venting C's in clogging them? So I think the question is regard to on the core machine, if you have brass vents, will there be a reaction there that actually makes excessive clogging?
It is possible for the silicone to attack brass, yes. In the previous iterations, the original 100% active release agents that were formulated, it had a worse reaction. The 184H and NM2 will still attack it, but it's not as bad.
Okay. And then the last question here is there a film forming time after application to the core box? So I'm inferring from that, after you apply it, is there a period of time you need to wait before you start your first core blow?
No, not with 100% active release agents because the silicone does not evaporate. So however much you apply or put on the substrate, that's how much is going to be there. That's why you need to make sure that you atomize it properly, and you want to hold your spray tip perpendicular to the core mold or the core, and just go over very quickly one pass. That's all you need.
Okay, and we have one more question. Is it important to blow / disperse with plant air after applying?
No, you shouldn't have to. If it's applied correctly and you did not over apply it, you should not have to blow it off. There shouldn't be any excess that needs to be removed.
Okay. It appears at this point, those are all the questions. So again, we appreciate everyone's attendance to this webinar. We've reached the end of it. We hope you've enjoyed it. And if you found this interesting, please visit our website where you will find the next dates for the ASK Online Academy, as well as a recording of the webinar. In addition, you will find other information about our products and support. And as always, if you have other needs, we are certainly available at any time to reach out to you personally. So please contact your local representative. And if there's further questions about this or any other products, we are more than happy to have our experts contact you and resolve whatever issue we have. So with that said, I would like to thank our attendees for attending. I would like to thank Stacy for this presentation and webinar, and I wish you all a good day. Thank you.